Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I have another cozy podcast style video with footage of me labeling my mini amber candles. And I thought, why not finally share my real story behind opening my candle business? The hard moments, the money I lost, and how I made my decision to start this journey. So let me quickly introduce myself in case you are new here. I'm Elena, the founder of Bedition Candle Co. I started this business to turn my dream into reality, creating all natural, non-toxic candles and wax melts. And who knows, maybe some exciting new products in the future. I'm 28 years old and I live with my boyfriend, who's also a huge supporter of my business, both emotionally and financially. Our dream is to build this business together full-time, working side by side as partners in life and in creation. Let me take you back to the beginning. Where I live, everyone is required to serve in the army. I worked a regular 9-to-5 job in the army as a dental assistant. I never had a passion for medicine and I never imagined myself working in that field, but the army chose that job for me. It was kind of fun at times, but also incredibly hard. Just want to interrupt you a little bit and show you that I have a digital products on my Etsy shop for all candle makers. I have a bunch of designs for wax melts, labels, and candle care cards, as well as wax melt scare cards. These templates are so easy to use with your free Canva account. Also, if you're making a wax melt and you're looking for mock-ups, I have a lot of mock-ups to choose from, and I want to provide you with a 20% off discount, so you can check my Etsy shop and the discount in the description down below. I was on my feet all day, constantly moving, cleaning, making sure the instruments were sterile, reminding patients of appointments, and doing administrative work like updating medical records. It made the time go by fast, but it wasn't something I saw myself doing long term. When I was 19 and finished my service, like everyone else, I started thinking about the next step, college. I didn't really know what I wanted to study or become. I never had a clear vision or passion for any profession, but most of my friends were choosing something in the medical field, so I thought maybe I should do the same. I ended up enrolling to study dental hygienist. I never truly wanted to be a dental hygienist, but I thought I needed a degree, a real profession, to be respected, to feel like I was on the right track. I don't even remember exactly how many months I studied, but I think it was when I had about 1 year left before graduating that I realized I didn't want this anymore. I felt like I was just going through the motions, and deep down I knew this wasn't my path. Of course, this was a hard time. My parents called me and tried to convince me to stay. They reminded me how important is it to have a degree and a stable, respected career. They also reminded me how much money I had already spent, and they were right. I had already invested $13,000 in college, and unfortunately I couldn't get any of that money back. I had to keep making monthly payments even after I quit. That was the painful part, but still I knew I had to walk away. Staying would have meant sacrificing my happiness. Looking back, I see that quitting college was one of the best decisions I ever made. I learned a lot about myself and I started building my life that truly feels like mine. Sure, I learned a bunch of useful stuff, especially about dental hygiene. I'm definitely not scared of going to the dentist anymore, but it wasn't meant to be my career. At the time, I was working 2 part-time jobs. One was from home, creating career routes using a complicated program. It sounds simple, but it actually took a lot of time and focus. The other job was as a dental assistant, and I absolutely hated it. The people I worked with were mean and the environment was toxic. It made me dread going in. Then one day my mom sent me a text. Why don't you try making your own candles? You've always loved them. And it's true, I've loved candles since I was a child, but the idea of making my own and starting my own business, that sounded way too unrealistic. I texted her back saying it was too competitive and too expensive and just not for me. But her message stayed with me. I got curious. I started looking at candle making kits on Amazon, and then I found tons of YouTube videos about candle making and even business tips. I made a huge list of everything I'd need for my first try. I remember my first scent was vanilla, which I actually hate, but I knew it was popular, so I wanted to give it a shot. It took me nearly 2 years to create my products. I eventually had 10 scents and 2 candle sizes. It was way harder than I ever imagined. Candle making isn't just melting wax and sticking in a wick. It's about crafting a recipe. Each scent needs its own formula. On January 28, 2024, I finally launched my website, which I built myself on Shopify. I took all the product photos on my iPhone, and then the real challenges started. I used to think the hardest part would be creating the candles and the website, but no. The hardest part came after launching. I had to learn marketing, open social media accounts for my brand, and figure out how to actually get people to notice me. At first, I made a mistake of only posting aesthetically pleasing content, pretty pictures and videos, but after several months, I realized I needed to show more of me, my story, the behind the scenes, the real work that goes into every product. That's when I really started from scratch again, rebuilding my online presence with more honesty and connection. I also learned how to run meta ads all by myself. That's a whole other story and definitely not an easy one. I had a lot of sales from ads, but I still haven't made back all the money I invested. It's a risky game and maybe not the best place to start. But back then, I believed no one would find my website without ads. If I could go back, I'd say focus on content. Even if you don't have followers, even if no one is watching, keep creating. Keep showing up. It hurts when you pour your heart into something and only 300 people see it. But that's real life right now. It's the algorithm and every creator is feeling it. So that's the story behind Bedition Candle Co. If you're running your own small business, whether it's candles or something else, feel free to share your story in the comments. Or maybe leave a tip for someone who's just starting out. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, you found the candle labeling footage relaxing, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so I know to create more content like this. Thank you for being here, for supporting my small business and my channel. I'm wishing you the best day ever, filled with creativity, growth, and inspiration. I'll see you in my next video.